Hi, guys. Okay, so it's Crowded Tea again, and here we are at the Earth SMP spawn. I wanted to talk a little bit about spawners. I hope you watched the last video that I had. Told you a little bit of history about the spawners and why you cannot find any natural generating spawners anywhere around Earth SMP anymore. Okay, true story, true story. I did not make it up. Okay, nothing is AI generated or anything in that video. Those are actual texts from Pizza MC. And in this one, I'm going to talk about how to obtain the spawners. So as you can see here at Spawn, it says here that you can purchase spawners for $16.90. We're going to click on that. Okay, if I wanted to buy, what is $16.90 in real money here? 10 bucks. Okay, so a lot of these spawners are $10. Certain ones, Piglin is gonna run you a little bit more. It's 15, it's 25.50. I feel like I'm doing an infomercial, I tell you. And the Iron Golem is also only $15, or I shouldn't say only. The Iron Golem is also $15. Okay, that's one of the reasons in that last video why Pizza was so upset. Think of how many Iron Golem spawners you could fit into a shulker. It was a real story. People were duping shulkers and not just one like you saw in my little video. Oh no, they had shulkers, plural, full of iron golem spawners. Do the math on that. How many stacks of an iron golem spawner can you fit inside a shulker? And multiply that by 15. And then multiply that by 64 because, of course, you have 64 and you have free stack. Okay, so a lot of players want spawners. If you look in our chat and it comes up randomly, I probably don't have any, but it says things like buy a spawner and make money. Okay, so a lot of players want spawners. How do you make money off of them? You make it off of the drops and you have to grind. But how do we get spawners? I am a cheap person. I do not want to spend the $16.90 that it takes to get a spawner. So there's lots of ways you can do it. Obviously, if you're a rich person, you can come over here and you can buy your spawners. I ain't gonna do that. Other ways, we're gonna hit our globe here and we're gonna go over and we're gonna check out some bundles, okay? There's the luxury bundle. If you are a demi, your weekly reward is a luxury bundle, and in that you can find some spawners. We have skeleton, cow, pig, and sheep that you can get from your luxury bundle if you are a demi. You just got to be patient and wait for it to come up in this big, huge box right here. And that's how you claim the spawners. Once that spawner is in there, you want to open it. So, a little trick with these, and all the bundles kind of work similar. Get a bundle, right? We're going to get it. Do not open it until you see what you want in that big, huge square right there. Once you see what you want there, open it, and you will get what you want. So that is one way. The other way is if we purchase a eternal bundle, okay, they have an iron golem spawner right there. Okay, let's see how much an eternal bundle is. Where are you? 13.40. If I want to spend real money on you, what are you going to cost me? Okay, so your eternal bundle is $8. You, again, just like the luxury, you can buy it and then you can wait for that iron golem spawner to come up. The nice thing is, what did I say? It was $7.99, $8 for that for an eternal bundle. If you wait for the iron golem spawner to come up, you can open up an iron golem spawner, half the price of real money here, guys. These are mine coins we're talking about. Okay? Okay, so the other way to get spawners is to go over here into bundles and down to your daily. Okay, if I open my daily right now, I would get 5 netherite ingots. But over here on the right, the options are a blaze spawner, a zombie spawner, and a rabbit spawner. So those 3 spawners right there you can get from your dailies. And then the last option, and by the way, those daily ones do not cost you any real money. The last way to get spawners is you go to economy and open gem shop. Okay, or I believe we can do /gem shop would be the command. And that gets me here. Now, we already talked about the AFK zone. Spend some time in the AFK zone, earn gems, and then once you get 432 gems is what it's looking like, you can buy yourself a spawner just for AFKing. So throw your guy in the AFK room while you're sleeping, taking your nap, okay, and earn your gems. That's what I'd do. Or what some players do is they make an alt and have their alt sit in that AFK room while they're playing the game. 432 gems. You can get pig, chicken, cow, zombie, or blaze. Keep in mind, you also get the zombie and the blaze with your daily as well. The chicken, pig, and cow, what did we say we got that in? We got that in our luxury, I believe. Yes, we did. We got that in our luxury. Okay, so you got 2 ways to get those kind of spawners and 2 ways to get the blaze and the zombie. Okay, so what does all that mean? It says that you can make money by getting spawners, you know, and you get your spawner, but how do you know which ones to get? So you're going to be looking at a couple of things. One, you're going to be looking at the drops. What does this thing drop? Is it useful? Is players going to want it? And then the second thing you're going to be looking at is rarity. So we're going to pop on over here to economy and we're going to look at the auction house, and I am going to filter it. Don't worry, I will do a video a little bit later on the auction house. We are going to filter it by spawners, and we are going to take a look at some of the spawners. So this guy is kind of overpricing that zombie spawner. Zombie spawners are good for XP, but really what are we getting? We are getting rotten flesh. What can I do with rotten flesh? Well, basically you trade with the cleric villager, and you're going to get emeralds. And that's pretty much about it. You're going to get some armor, broken armor, but you're going to get armor, which is really cool for putting on an armor stand if that's the thing you're into. Squid spawner. That is a really good one if you can get your hands on a squid spawner, because everybody wants black dye, and there's not a whole lot of squid spawners out there. Piglin spawner, you're going to be getting some gold. That's great for the golden apples. The only way to get villagers here on Earth is to turn them. You need those golden apples in order to turn them. Plus, they're obviously good to eat. Every villager you have, you need to turn, and they will not breed. So, gold is a really good one, and it's going for 8 million. Now, keep in mind, the only way to get this piglin spawner is that somebody has now purchased it with real money for $15. So, they're putting it up here for 8 million. We have the rabbit spawner. The rabbit spawner is a pretty common one. Depending on what you're looking at, you're going to get the rabbit hide, which you can take a few rabbit hides and you can turn them into the leather that you need to make books. So it's not totally useless, but it is pretty common when that's going to affect the price, and that's why it's down at 250,000. We have an Enderman spawner. Okay, what are you getting from your Enderman? You're getting your Ender pearls. Ender eyes are pretty much kind of useless around here because the end portals do not work, so you have no reason to actually go find those. And you have your Ender chests. So there's an Enderman spawner. Plus, I think they're one of the ones that drop the most on the higher end of the XP. So you have that. We got Blaze. Now, again, Blaze is a pretty common one, which is one of the reasons that affects the price, why it's so low. But we also have, you can use your blaze rods for fuel in your furnace to smelt things. Great if you don't have the fixed thing and you have mending on your armor. Smelt stuff, make an auto smelter and an XP farm out of your auto smelter, and then you can pull stuff out of your smelter. I'm constantly smelting things all the time, so when I don't have Demi, I have that XP there and ready to mend my gear when my guys aren't online. You have the blaze powder that you need for your ender eyes, for your ender chests, and then you also have the blaze powder for your potions. Okay, but for as useful as that is, it's still pretty common, and that's, again, going to affect the price, which is why he's on the lower end. Cave spider spawner. Okay, we talked about how there's no naturally generating spawners here on Earth anymore. They took them all out. Cave spider is not one that you can acquire anymore. It was mined in the beginning before they had all the natural spawners removed. There are spider spawners that you can buy, and you're going to get the exact same drops from a spider or a cave spider. It's not going to make a difference. But because you cannot get specifically the cave spider, and he is more rare, that is why he's going for 5 mil. You have a skeleton spawner. He's pretty useful for bone meal. We have a cow. He's kind of mid-range. Okay, he's not in the $1 million mark, but he is a little bit higher than, say, something like zombie spawner. Again, you have the leather for your books, and then you also have the benefit of food. Now, if you look at this one right here, and I'm not 100% sure how they managed to list this, but it is 9 blaze spawners that you are going to get for 4 million. I am still looking into how exactly that works, but that's why this one's so expensive. Okay, so those are the spawners that are in the auction house, and like I said, you know, things like the rarity and the usefulness of the spawners is what's going to affect it. Now, what's interesting is when you see something, here's an interesting one, silverfish. The silverfish spawner that you find over near your inn portals, there was a few of them mined. I don't know how many were mined, but I am going to let you know that this is a Java-based server, and somehow, and I don't know all the details, but it's ported onto Bedrock, which means we have a lot of Java mechanics, fight mechanics here, and I am going to guess that we also have the limitation on the inn portals like Java does, because I know Bedrock has a lot more inn portals than Java does. Okay, so if you think about it, I believe I heard there's only 128 inn portals on Java. So in the beginning, before all the natural spawners have disappeared, somebody went around, or whoever with rank, and mined some silverfish spawners. But what's funny with that is those spawners are literally useless for anything. They don't drop XP. They don't have a drop. But yeah, if you ever see those on the auction house, they will sell for millions. Reason being, if you're a collector and you want to have every single spawner in the game, they are very, very rare. Even if they were all mined, you're only going to get about 128 of them because there's only 128 inn portals frames, and that's where they spawn. And I highly doubt all of them were mined. We're talking less than 128 silverfish spawners. And that's why those are so expensive. The other one, and I'm going to show you this. So the other spawner that is so, well, I don't want to say super expensive, but kind of expensive is, let me turn my fly on. Yeah, this is all a work in progress. It's like half built. Magma. And the magma spawner only spawns in the bastions. And again, they were all deleted. How many exactly out there? I have no idea. But They are the only way to get your frog lights. A lot of players have them, and that's how we were able to get our frog lights. That is your spawners. I hope that kind of gave you a little bit of insight as to the spawners and why there's such a varying price in some of them and how to get your hands on them if you want. You guys have a wonderful day. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and please leave me a comment and let me know what you guys want to see. I am still making my trip around Spawn to tell you everything about it. Hope you're enjoying my videos. Bye.